current geological eon is the Phanerozoic, which is further divided into the Anthropocene era, Quaternary period, Holocene epoch, and Meghallean age. California is very geologically diverse, with major features such as mountain ranges, desert plateaus, and the well-known San Andreas Fault. The fault runs along the Sierra Nevada mountain range. The tectonic activity in California has also created the highest and lowest points on the continent, Mount Whitney and Death Valley. These 2 points are only 120 kilometers apart, but have vastly different geological features and environments. These topographic extremes have made California a geologically interesting site.
California is located in North America at coordinates 36 degrees north and 119 degrees west. California is located on the San Andreas Fault, which is the transform boundary between the North American Plate and the Pacific Plate. The Pacific Plate moves northwest as the North American Plate moves southeast.
The climate in California varies widely as it depends on the latitude, proximity to the coast, and elevation. California's coastal areas are warmer and drier than inland, and in winter cooler and wetter. The average temperature is 16 degrees Celsius and the annual precipitation is 47 centimetres.
The ecology of California is mainly terrestrial with a large western strip of coastline. The ecoregions of California can be grouped into 4 major groups: desert ecoregions, Mediterranean ecoregions, forested mountains, and coastal forests. Its varied topography and climate have given rise to a remarkable diversity of habitats and a correspondingly diverse array of both plants and animal species. Some interesting and endangered species residing in California include the two-striped garter snake, the desert tortoise, and the Alameda whipsnake.
Our research timeframe is set in the Cretaceous period, which is the longest part of the Phanerozoic eon. During the Cretaceous, California was in a state of geologic upheaval with the formation of the Sierra Nevada mountain range that currently stretches from the Central Valley of California to the Great Basin. The mountain range was formed on a large fault line. The end of the Cretaceous is marked in the stratigraphic sequence by a thin layer of grey ash containing iridium and shocked quartz. Iridium is not a mineral that is common on Earth but is often found in meteorites. This suggests that at this point in geological time, Earth was hit by a meteor which marked the change in periods known as the KPG extinction event.
During the Cretaceous period, California was in the northern hemisphere and was located slightly closer to the North Pole than the equator. The north of the North American Plate drifted east during the Cretaceous period, and California remained in a mostly stable position, as most of the change that occurred was in the north and the east of the continent.
Most of California was covered by a warm, shallow sea during the Cretaceous period. There is evidence that snowfalls were more common in the higher altitudes, and the tropics became wetter than the Triassic and Jurassic periods. During the late Cretaceous, the global climate was warmer than it is today. No ice existed at either poles. The warming of California may have been due to intense volcanic activity, which produced large quantities of carbon dioxide. Sediment cores show that tropical sea surface temperatures may have been briefly as warm as 42 degrees.
In this time period, majority of California was primarily a marine environment. The ecosystems of the reefs at the time consisted of colonial corals, various types of snails, calcareous algae, large bottom-dwelling foraminifera, and some ammonite and echinoid species. Most of the dinosaur fossils found in California are isolated bones of hadrosaurs, which can be identified by their distinctive arrangement of knobs and muscle attachment scars. They lived close to the end of the Cretaceous period. An interesting note was that dinosaur bones on the seafloor during this period became bases for large colonies of oysters and other similar creatures, as it provided a solid base to grow on and often in well-placed areas.
Changes to California's geology greatly began in the Cretaceous with tectonic activity between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, which led to the upheaval of the region. This collision caused great volcanism and mountain building. Rock and mineral formations in Death Valley, west of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, show that the site used to be a shallow warm sea before the upheaval in the Cretaceous. Currently, Death Valley is one of the driest and hottest desert plains in the world. The tectonic activity that has caused the geological changes throughout time still occurs and continues to build up the mountain ranges and other geological sites across California.
During the mid to late Cretaceous, California drifted further north. Towards the end of the Cretaceous, California and the surrounding region began drifting southeast. The orientation of California changed so that the north of the region moved to the east, with the southern tip of California staying in a mostly stable position. The shape of California also changed due to this tectonic activity, with the region becoming more elongated as the entire continent changed shape.
The climate in the Cretaceous period in California was often warmer and more humid than it is today as a result of very active volcanism associated with high rates of seafloor spreading. Moreover, seasons became more pronounced as the global climate cooled. Rainfall and atmospheric greenhouse gas concentrations were higher in the Cretaceous period in California compared to today. Sediment cores recorded the temperature to be approximately 17 degrees warmer.
The ecological makeup of California has changed drastically from Cretaceous period to current day, as the environment has transitioned from marine to terrestrial. Thus, the flora and fauna populations have shifted with the available environment. Majority of the marine life has died off, with exceptions to modern turtles, some small invertebrates, mollusks, coral, and weed types. New species include most species inhabiting the land, such as mammals and diverse bird life, the birds having descended from dinosaurs.
Thanks for watching!